Okay, these 5 distractions can totally sabotage your growth in the reselling business. So what are they?
We're going to dive into these 5 things that hopefully you can help avoid so you can keep growing your business. So the first one is one that you've dealt with a lot.
I have.
Shiny object syndrome. And we've been listening to Hormozi talk about this a lot lately too.
Yeah.
So it is you're probably an entrepreneur or have like lean towards that if you're looking into reselling or you're a reseller. So typically entrepreneurs have the tendency to have shiny object syndrome
And no follow through.
So,
but that is huge, guys. You might have ideas all the time about these different things that you can start, these different businesses. Guys, I am the king of starting different businesses up, but I am failing miserably at following through until I teamed up with my wonderful wife, and she has kept me on track with this business. So we have been able to see insane growth throughout our marriage, throughout the time that we put full time into this business. So you guys might have those shiny object syndromes that pull you away from what you really need to be doing. And Hormozi, Alex Hormozi, if you guys don't know him, amazing, amazing guy.
I listen to his podcast. It's really good.
Talks about anything that you consistently do and you really do it, no matter what, through time, you will see some success, some really good success, because you have to be invested into it and keep doing it over and over and over to get the success.
So just for some examples of stuff that you've done, because you really have done a ton. You started a landscape business, you started a roofing, or you wanted to. I think you went to
school for roofing. Yep.
For roofing. We wanted to do boat tours. I remember at one point we got some pontoon boats. We were going to give lake tours of to all the people's houses. You're a painter, got into advertising balloons, and then you wanted to do a parasailing business, but that one failed because you got knocked out by, so we bought a parasail from the flea market.
A yard sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first
we still have
problem right there. And he went up, how old were you when you did this?
I had been about 19 or 20.
He went up on it with his buddies. Thank goodness you were wearing a life vest, because he ended up going up backwards.
Yeah.
And the thing hit you in the head. It popped off, right?
It did. The snap on the boat popped off. So it didn't come with a rope. We had to go buy a rope from Home Depot. This is like 500 foot of rope. And we had to put our own clasps on each end. So one that went to the boat, one that went to the parasail, and one of the clasps that was on the boat popped off when, I don't know what it was. I was all the way up in the air backwards,
right?
Because I didn't know parasails have a front and a back. I was strapped into it backwards, went up in the air backwards. A gust of wind came as I was getting ready to go up and flipped the thing over. And then I'm riding backwards. Thank the Lord I was riding backwards, because the snap came off the boat, popped up and hit me in the back of the head, put a big old gash in the back of my head, knocked me out. I went down into the water and had my life jacket on. They picked me up and got me into the boat and all that kind of stuff. So parasailing was out, but it was a great idea. So that is another shiny object syndrome that I had. But guys, I've had hundreds. I've had tons and tons of ideas for different ideas. I mean, different things to do. It's the follow through. And Alex Hormozi, Melissa and I really look up to this guy. He's amazing, amazing.
One of the things he was saying too is having so many different side hustles too. Like he'll meet somebody and they have like 10 different side hustles. And obviously reselling is our favorite side hustle, so we're a little partial, but it is like if it's one of your 10 or 15 things you're doing, maybe that's a reason why it's not as successful as it could be, because you are invested in so many other things. And if you want to dive deeper into it, maybe it's time to cut out some of the other things.
Absolutely.
And really dive and focus on it, because you can, like, if you devote more time to it, you're gonna get better at it.
Absolutely. And the time, even just for what Melissa and I have done for the last 7 years, that we jumped full time into flipping and coaching with what we do, guys, we've had insane results. We've really been able to hone in on what our market is for flipping items, the higher profit items, and we've got insane results. I mean, just while we're recording this, the last 2 months, $7,000 or $7,500 flip 2 months ago, a $10,000 flip. These are single items, so almost $20,000, and we've made other little flips in with that for probably over $20,000 in the last 2 months, but single items for $10,000 and $7,500 that we flipped. Just think about, man, and the time spent on that versus all the time wasted doing something else, because we've really, really honed in and got really, really good at this flipping business.
And it's not all that it's always going to just be success. Like it is, that was one thing we were listening to today too, is, you have success and then you have a failure, but those failures, you turn into learning things. Yeah. So you learn something because of the failure, and then you can have more success. So it's always looking at it with that light versus like, oh, well, it's not just this scale up, it's okay, a failure, learn, it's a learning opportunity, and then you can grow from that.
Absolutely.
And so it's always like an up and down, but you're constantly moving forward.
And you're in the same path. You're doing the same thing, not a failure here. Well, let's go do something else. So you got to keep the failures in that process, in that business, so you can get better and better at that business versus a failure. Okay, this is a dead end. Let's go try something else.
That's what you would do all the time. You have something, you hit a road bump, and then you're like, okay, well, this won't work, so we're out. I'm out.
This is going to work better. I know this is going to work better. Let me go to a whole other industry. And it's not the case. You just need to really keep growing and be consistent in what you're doing.
Yeah. So the second distraction, this one doesn't really affect you. It affects me more. Social media. So is definitely a distraction. I use it as research. I'm doing research on what kind of videos we need to make for the marketing part or the content part of our business. And yeah, then I get sucked down the rabbit hole of social media, and I can just wait. It's just a time waster. Like, why am I doing that? So it doesn't really, you get more distracted on Facebook Marketplace maybe, or like,
that's more working, but
working. There you go.
Yeah. But I'm not looking at posts and stuff like that. So, and some people are going to be more, they'll relate more to this, and some people won't. Some people don't get into the whole TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So they don't jump in, and it's not a big distraction to them. But just, take a mental evaluation of it. If this is one of the things that is holding you back from time and effort you can spend into getting better and better at your core business that you're really working on.
Getting your stuff listed. That could be
Absolutely.
It's the time waster, and you should be listing stuff instead.
Cleaning stuff, picturing stuff, more time that you can do on something else versus getting into. Now I'll be honest with you guys. I've got onto TikTok before, and believe it or not, like an hour's gone by, and I'm like, whoa, where did that hour just go? I just scrolling through and looking at videos.
I'm not a lot smarter either.
No, and that's where I'm like, okay, this is not going to do me any good whatsoever. I don't need to be on these platforms doing this. I could have done so much better with the last hour I spent scrolling through this stuff. So that's my biggest thing, is I've done it probably once or twice, and then I'm like, okay, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I got better stuff to do.
So one of the distractions for you, though, which is our third one, is television more, is more of a distraction for you. That one doesn't bother me that much. I can, like, it doesn't, you like to watch at night and unplug, and I don't know. It doesn't bother me so much.
And I mean, entrepreneurs, you guys work. We work a lot. And it's like, it's not like a 9-to-5 job. Hey, 9 o'clock, I'm working. 5 o'clock, hey, go hang up that hat. Let's have some fun. The day's over. I mean, Melissa and I are working all the time. And that is one of the ways that I unplug. And I get convicted from time to time. There's not.
You can enjoy that. But if you know, like, you want to be doing something.
Times in your business for growth.
You want to grow, and you're not, because
you might give it up.
Yeah. So you might be
we've done that.
We've done that. Yeah.
Through our business growth, we've done that. We've given up the TV to where I'm not watching movies at night. I'm trying to accomplish other stuff. And it really is. I mean, we're working sun up to sundown in this business to whether it's flipping, whether it's coaching, whether it's social media, all the stuff that we do, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But in some cases,
there'll be seasons where you do more, or seasons where you not as much. So it kind of depends where you're at in your business.
Yep.
And that is just, you find that chunk of time is where you could, okay, well, instead of doing that maybe for an hour, I'm going to work on my listings, or I'm going to do that instead of, sitting down and watching it, and then maybe doing that later. So, and
there's a time in the season for it. Like I said, it's not always, TV's not the worst thing ever. That's how I unplug, is watching a movie at night. That's how I unplug before I go to bed. But in some cases, I want growth more in the business than I want to relax and watch TV. So I'll give it up and I'll do stuff. And that's one of those things that you have to make that decision for yourself, if it is something that can get you more results in your business, for sure.
Another one. Number 4. Yeah. Is really your energy. So it's not, I guess, necessarily a distraction, but more, you don't have enough energy to do the thing you need to do in your business. And that can be a couple different reasons. Like, maybe we're up too late watching TV or scrolling social media and, playing on your phone before bed. And so you're not getting the good quality sleep, or maybe you need to move more. Like, that is something that we value a lot, is we walk and we run like 4 days a week, and we walk almost every day, because it just starts off our day so much better and just gets us energized and ready to tackle the day. So sometimes it might be just going for a walk. And I like to do that at the end of the day too. We used to do that a lot more at the end of the day.
We did, yeah.
But now it's dark so early.
Yeah, our schedule's different right now.
Yeah,
but we still get one out. We'll get a walk and a run in the morning. Typically, like Melissa said, 4 days a week.
But that can really energize you. It can get you going. It can get you motivated. Sometimes, just moving more just brings the motivation, and especially if you listen to a cool podcast, maybe like this one while you're going for a walk. But yeah, moving more and trying to get better sleep.
Absolutely.
The sleep part is hard for me, I will say. That
Yeah.
is definitely my hardest part. It's hard to turn off everything and
But you need
go
that
to bed.
sleep.
You do.
need that
I know.
sleep to
I know.
re-energize, to get your mind right. So you really do need the sleep. You need to make sure that you're getting plenty of sleep for sure.
Yep.
So,
all right, number 5. So this one can be a touchy one, but it's people. So making sure that you have the people, like you're not getting distracted
Yeah.
by people. So, and it can be friends and family, and you
might
know,
be a family member, it might be a friend. I know I have people in my life. I'm a phone guy. I don't do a lot of texting. I'm not a big texter. Melissa's a texter. She doesn't get on the phone. But I have some friends that I will get on the phone with, and I will talk to them for 30, 45 minutes.
He cannot multitask
an
when he's
hour.
talking on the phone. Sometimes I'm like, we have to go somewhere. Can you just even get in the car? Like, we gotta go. So,
and it's one of those things that I know that takes time away from what I can do. So maybe you're the same as me and you'll spend some time on a phone call. Not saying that you don't need those relationships,
No.
but I know a couple of the relationships that I have, they're not suiting me. They're definitely not suiting the growth in my business. Now I'm very much invested into friendships and doing stuff with people and just being a good friend. I'm definitely into that. But some of the people that I talk to on the phone, I'll talk to them for like 45 minutes and it was just a total waste of my time to do that.
Kind of harsh to say.
It is.
No, but yeah.
It's one of those things that you have to just really evaluate your time that you're spending that you could be on working on something else. Because I'm the kind of person too, when somebody calls me up, I stop everything, pick up the phone, and I'll talk to them in case they need something immediately. I'll drop stuff and go help people out immediately, some of my close friends. And it's one of those things that you have to really evaluate that and maybe set some guidelines on, okay, well, this person I know when they're calling, they're just calling to shoot the breeze and talk to them for 30 minutes. I'm not going to do that until maybe after 5 or 6 o'clock at night, to where I'm not
getting into your day.
Exactly. The busyness of the day. So this is a good reflection back onto your life, and just take survey of what those calls are. If you're a phone person, or even stopping and seeing somebody pulls you out of your normal routine and you see them personally.
Well, it also goes into being like, who are you surrounding yourself with as far as like positive and negative people? Like, you know, we value friendships, we value people a lot, but sometimes being around certain people can just demotivate you and just be negative and draining, and then it doesn't help you in your business at all, help you to grow, because they just are constantly, maybe they complain a lot, maybe. And you're not saying cut people out of your life, like, but you might just have to evaluate how much time you're spending around them or on the phone with them or whatever it is. So
it's one thing if you are around people that complain a lot, you'll find yourself complaining. It's one of those things. JLD does this really well. He talked, and I don't know, he's probably not the original one who said it, but you are the average of the 5 most people that you spend time with. Who are those 5 people? Are those complainers? Are they people, you know what I mean? Are just take survey of those people who really have influence on your life that you might not even realize it. Are those the people you want to get better, that you can grow with? Are they people that are complaining about their situation and they're not doing anything to fix it?
Are they motivating you to get stuff done, to grow yourself and grow your business? And so just kind of evaluate that, because that can be it can be hard. It definitely could be a distraction too. For sure. So yeah, we like to stay positive around here, and we do. We love people pretty good. Yep. So
those are the 5 tips, guys. Go check out this next video.